How's it? Paul Auger here from Arch.co today. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up a trial for Bitdefender. We're then going to log into that trial, set up your profile, set up your policies, and actually deploy Bitdefender to Windows, to a Mac, and to a Linux machine. So let's get started. Firstly, let's sign up for a trial with us. Click on this link below. Sign up. We'll get you a trial sorted out. Once you've got your link, let's start. Fantastic. So in the email that came from Bitdefender, you'll have an email address, which is the one that you signed up with, and a password that they've allocated to you. Please fill it in. I'm just going to save that. Okay, agreed to the terms of service. Whenever you log into Bitdefender, this screen will come up unless you click Don't Show Again. It will tell you the new things that have come out, the new functionalities that's been released by Bitdefender. You can read through it and check exactly what's in here. You can check the release notes. If you don't want to see it again, you say Don't Show Again and push close. Wonderful. Second part is this one. This is the essential steps. These are basically how to get started very, very fast. If you don't want to do this with this step, it's fine. You can also push the Don't Show Again here. But let's just go through a couple of things here. One, you can install this on this computer now. You can send emails from here and say, staff, please install Bitdefender. You can read how to do remote installs here using a relay. You can use Active Directory integration. You can set up your security policies. It shows you exactly how to do it. You can create new user accounts, and obviously you can do reporting. We're not going to do it using this wizard. We're going to do it manually. So I'm going to say don't show this again. Great. So now we're at your dashboard. Now this dashboard is wonderful because you can set it up exactly how you want. You can have malware activity here and malware status. You can add license counts. Every little thing over here is called a portlet. So you can say add a new portlet, and you can say what blocked websites have there been from this month. And you can then say of specific computer groups. So I'm going to say save. And then you see that nothing's been blocked so far, which is perfect because obviously we've just set this up. So let's start at the beginning and then we'll move through the middle and the end at the end. Brilliant, I know. Okay, so firstly, if you click over here, you'll see my account, my company, credentials manager, help and support, and feedback. So let's start at my company. Cool. So anything you need to change, you can update it here. If you need two-factor authentication, you can enable it here. My company. You can fill in your physical address here, your phone number, your full name, everything. This is a trial that's been set up, and this trial finishes on this date. Nothing's been licensed, and I've got unlimited amount of stuff that's going to be happening. Okay, and this is all under the Bitdefender partner outsource house, which is actually Arch.co today. Okay, credentials manager. You can add credentials here. So if you are going to add an Active Directory integrator, you can use your domain username and password here, and you can say that's going to be administrator. We're going to spell correctly, and password is whatever, and the description is whatever. And you can push add. We're not going to do that right now, but you'll see how to edit it later. Under Exchange, same things. Username, password, email address, the Exchange URL, and the description. You can add things here. We're not going to do that. Under Help and Support, there are installation guides here, administrator guides, how to integrate to the Windows Defender ATP, how to use it on specific, how to use the agent on Windows, on Linux, on Mac. You can get the public API guide, the knowledge base. Everything you need is really here, including opening a support ticket. So if you've got any problems, open a support ticket. They'll then help you out and get you sorted. Okay. Let's go next one, and feedback. You can say this, and you're going to feedback. Okay, so let's go back to the dashboard. Great. So now, we need to now install this on a computer. What? Well, we need to install Bitdefender. How do we install it? We need to create a package. So, the first thing we'd go do here is we go to Packages. There is already a package here called a Security Server Virtual Appliance. We're going to ignore that for right now. We will come back to that in future tutorials. Right now, we're going to push on Add. Great. So, what is this package going to be called? So, we're going to let's start with a simple package. Let's start with a simple package that is going to be for 95% of our users. So with the 95% of the users, this is going to be a generic package. So we can either call it generic, or default, or whatever you want to call it. So generic package. Description. You can type a description if you want. I'm going to leave it out for right now. What modules do you want installed using this package? Well, we're going to do always anti-malware, the advanced threat protection, advanced anti-exploit, the firewall, the content control, device control, power user, I'm not going to put on for right now. I'll show you later. The encryption I'm not going to put on. Patch management I'm not going to put on. I don't have Exchange right now, and I'm not going to put on a relay. Okay. Going down, the next option is, how do you want your computers to scan? Now, if you've got a really powerful computer, 16 gigs or 32 gigs of RAM, you can then have all the scanning happening on this local computer, because your computer won't really feel it when it's being scanned. However, if you've got an older computer, it's running Windows 7, it's got a gig or two of RAM, it doesn't have much power, you really would like to have that going to be scanned in the cloud. Now, you don't want to have to figure that out for every single one of your machines, so we keep this on automatic. So automatic does this. It does the central scan with fallback to hybrid scan for computers with low hardware performance, a local scan for computers with high performance, a central scan, blah, 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 blah. Okay, very, very easy. Okay, so the central scan must first deploy a security server, which is the thing I said I was going to ignore, so I'm still ignoring it. Okay, next. Do you want to scan your machine before installation happens? It's either a yes or no. There's no middle ground here. So the question is, if you're going to deploy this, if you're running around as a techie and you're going to go and deploy this, do you want to wait 15 minutes or 20 minutes for it to scan the first time? Or do you want to just push it, then say, scan it just now? Normally, we take this off. We take this off, we install the package. Once the package is installed, then on all 30 machines or all 100 machines, we then push the button and say, hey, scan everything. And then we scan it at 5 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night the first time to make sure no one is bothered by it being scanned. If you want, you can do a custom installation path. You can set an uninstall password. If you don't want to do that now, that's fine. We can set it later with a policy. And you can use custom folders. So you say, I'm going to install this machine, and when it installs, and I'm going to just do this package for the admin department. When it installs, then put it into a folder called admin department. If you have an Active Directory ready with your OU set up properly, then that shouldn't be a problem. Okay. How are we going to connect? Well, we're going to connect to the Bitdefender cloud. You don't have an option there. You'll have an option later. So use proxy for communication. If you have a proxy in your local network that has been set up and you need to have authentication to go through it, please fill in your details here. Okay. A couple of warnings, and also there's installation guide. So if you want to click on these and how to automatically uninstall other security software, click on that and read through these articles. Very, very interesting. Quite dry, if I'm being honest. They aren't sort of like made to be exciting, but they are there. Okay, and let's push save. Great. So now we have generic package. If you ever need to edit this package, all you do, click on it again, and you go back straight into it, and you say, oh, I want to include power user now, or I want to include the relay now. Okay, I'm going to say cancel there, and that is how to create a package. We're now going to download and install this package. Okay, so I'm going to open up a TeamViewer session with another computer. This is a Windows 2016 computer. Brand new install. There's nothing on here. Okay. So, a couple of ways of installing this. One, we can email this person, whoever this person is. And we can say, hey, this person, please download and install this. Second option, we could log onto it remotely like I'm doing, and we can download it in two ways. You can either download a very small installer that will then download the rest from the internet, or we can download a large installer that has every single module included and install XML on how to do this, and we can install it from there. The third way we can do it is we can actually, once we've got everything set up with relays and we've put our stuff on our Active Directory and we connected everything, what we can do then is we can say, okay, Active Directory, do you see this new computer that we've got over here? Cool, okay. Please install that using the admin and username, the admin password and the admin username. So once you've got those different ideas, you can play around with how you want to deploy it. If you've got someone who's only out in the field and they've got their laptop out in the field, you can actually send them an email and say, please download it yourself, and then shout at them if they don't. So let's go from here. So this is the brand new machine. We're going to go into our package. We're going to tick on this, and we're going to go download here. So here are all the options that we can use for download. There's a Windows downloader, which is the very small downloader that I spoke about. The Windows kit for 32 and 64-bit. The full legacy kit for 32 and 64-bit. This is Windows XP. The Linux downloader, the Linux kit, and the Mac kit. So we are installing our first one on Windows. So let's go with the Windows downloader. Great. So there it is. Let's look at that. So there it is. So we're just going to copy and paste this. Paste that to the desktop there. You can paste it wherever you want, as long as you know where it is. Great. Now, in this package that we set up, generic package is not going to install power user, it's not going to do encryption, relays, or anything. It's not going to scan before the installation. Cool. So let's run that quickly then. Just one thing while it's thinking. This file has a very long file name. This is actually an encrypted connection, an encrypted instruction from this file to the Bitdefender cloud. So it says, hey Bitdefender, this is an install that is for this trial account. This was downloaded on this date. This is the version it is, all of those things. And what is this now saying? It's saying, please download and install it for this and then connect it from this computer to that trial account that we set up before. Very, very simple. If you rename it, it's not going to work. So if you do stuff that up and you do rename it, please download it again so that you got the proper file name. Okay, so let's wait for that to download. Okay, so let's wait for it to be configured. This is called the Bitdefender Endpoint Security Tool, which is often referred to as the best, which I quite enjoy. Yeah, so now we're going to set this up. Most of the stuff should happen automatically here, and you can go and make yourself a cup of coffee. Okay, while that's downloading and installing and configuring, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go download the Windows Kit 64-bit. I'm going to click on that one. What you'll notice is it's downloading a 700 meg file. This 700 meg file has everything included. There is also an XML file included in there that says what is actually going to be installing. And that is coming from this generic package. It's going to say we need to install the advanced threat control and the anti-exploit and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I'm going to show you what that looks like just now. Let's go back to our computer. See what's happening. Okay, it says it's installing. I'm going to minimize that again. What you'll notice if you go back to your GravityZone and you go to your network, we're under the Bitdefender trial, computers and groups, there is nothing here right now. Hopefully, if we push the right buttons, hopefully there should be a computer coming in there just now. And that computer will be this one, which is going to have this computer name. Okay, ends in JD0. Perfect. Okay, so that's still installing. That's still downloading. I'm going to start pushing buttons now, and I'm going to wait until this is finished, and then I'm going to come back to you and we're going to talk some more. Brilliant. Okay, so now the installation is complete. Yours might have taken a lot longer, or much shorter, depending on the speed of your internet to the speed of your hardware. This could take anywhere from 5 minutes to 20 minutes. Depending on your settings, could take also different amounts of times. Okay, so let's push finish. If you push this a little over here, you can double click over there. Okay, it says you are at risk. Now let's click and see what that actually means. So click over there. It says we haven't done a full scan. Well, that's perfect. Let's push there. And what we'll see is that that's all that's what we'll see is that this is all that's been enabled right now. We just need to wait a bit of time, and then we'll see everything else that's been enabled. If you want to force it to go faster, push there and say check for updates. What you'll notice over here is that the EPS kit has now downloaded. So I just want to show you what that looks like inside here. So inside here is now a 770 meg file and the installer. The installer has to be part of this. So if you just ran this and the installer wasn't there, this wouldn't work. So the installer has all of these notes inside about how to actually deploy. So if your internet is too slow to have it run from the small 4 meg downloader, this one that we downloaded first, that one, then download the full kit, copy and paste that entire folder from your computer to the other computer, or take it on a memory stick, and then run it from that other computer. Okay, so for the Linux and the Mac install, what I'm going to do is tick on this, and instead of saying download, because we've done that already, I'm going to say send the download links. So I'm just going to send them to myself, and I'm going to get the email, and what you'll see is it's going to send me Windows, Legacy for Windows, Linux, and the Mac. So I'm just going to push send. Now I'm going to log into the Mac, and I'm going to log into the Linux, into my email, and then download and install. Okay, so I've logged into my email and you see the email that's come through. So let's download the Linux installer now. Okay, so let's just push save. And now we'll wait for it to download. Okay, let's minimize that. Let's open up the terminal. CD downloads. And we've got the installer.tar there. So firstly what we need to do is we need to untar it, and then we need to install it. Okay. So what you'll see now is that it's extracted it here. So there's BD configure, there's installer, there's obviously the tar file, and the XML file. So now we're going to run it. And put in our sudo password. Okay, so what you'll see is it's downloaded it all. It's now installing it, including the services. Okay, so it says it's installed, and let's now check it. Okay, so service, BD, status. Okay, so what you'll see is that it's all starting, because we've just installed it. Yeah, so that's that installed on Ubuntu. Let's go back and check and see if it shows up in GravityZone. Computers and groups. Brilliant. So now you see the Linux installed and the Windows server is installed. The next one that we're going to do is we are going to install a Mac. Okay, so now on the Mac we're going to do it, I said we're going to do it via email, but let's actually just do it via download. Okay, so let's get back to our GravityZone. Okay, so packages, generic package over here, and let's say download Mac kit. Yep, so it's about 300 megs. Let's wait for that to download. Okay, so it's downloaded. Let's now copy and paste this to our Mac. I'm connected to the Mac via TeamViewer, so we can actually just copy and paste this, and it's on the local network. So this should be quite quick. close that. Here is the install for Bitdefender. Let's double click on it. Okay, as you can see, it works exactly the same way as all the other ones on Windows, on Mac, and on Linux. They all have an installer and XML. Let's double click on that. Continue, install. Okay, it says the installation was successful. So let's push close, and we can close this. Now let's go and look at GravityZone and see if it's actually appearing there. There we go. So now it's displaying. We are going to do the same thing as we did with the other ones. We're going to apply here and say assign policy, generic policy, finish. And once it's updated, it should have its generic policy. So that is it. We've signed up with the trial. We've done a couple of policies and a couple of settings in there. We have deployed it for Windows, Mac, and Linux. The next couple of videos, we will be playing around with what policies you can edit, how to play around with the quarantine, how to remove things, how to add things to be excluded from the quarantine, how to run reports. We'll also be looking at the risk management module, the patch inventory module, and how to assign policies based on specific rules. Please make sure that you subscribe to our channel to get the latest tutorials, and we will see you soon. Osh.co today is a silver Bitdefender partner. Get in contact with us for the best prices on Bitdefender GravityZone products.